Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Degidio. We are back with another episode of the Jaxxon podcast. I'm sitting here with the greatest co-host, I would say the most extravagant, most endangering, yet the most brilliant man to ever ride two wheels. And I'm not talking about Jet Lawrence. I'm talking about Twitch, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Twitch. The Godfather.
The Godfather of action motorsports. For those of you that don't understand why he's the Godfather, we'll talk about that later. And we're sitting here with one of the rising superstars in Speedway racing, a guy that I've watched come in here day in, day out for the last year, not even take an ounce of anything from this place, but all passion, all heart, never ask for anything. He's grinding 24/7 with Joe Caneri. Don't know what they're doing, but they do something in there. Ladies and gentlemen, Broc!
Broc, yeah!
Fired up!
Go!
I like that.
Let's go!
I like that.
I like the Broc, yeah.
I just like Broc.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. It's been awesome kind of working with Joe and getting connected with you. It's been awesome. So thanks for having me.
Soft spoken.
Joe's a good dude.
Yes.
We give Joe
He
a
is.
lot of we give Joe a lot of whatever it's called, you know.
Shit.
Yeah. I like him.
can
Joe
take it, though.
Caneri, very famous moto strength and conditioning recovery performance coach. Is that what you call it?
And he actually rides motorcycles too.
And he rides bikes in tights. Have you seen him?
Bikes and
have,
tights, yeah.
Bikes and tights. That's what I used to
Gotta
do.
get fit, dude. Gotta get the Fitbit up.
Like 5 years ago, I had this like crazy thing removed out of my chest. People said it's gyno from Tren. It's not. It was actually like a mass or something from being fat.
He had to get rid of all his estrogen.
Yeah, and so the whole world couldn't figure out what to do, and
no one can figure it out.
someone linked me with Joe Caneri, and I met him.
He
at
knew?
Yeah, Joe knew instantly. He goes, "We got to rebuild you from the ground up," and I actually loved what he did as a strength and conditioning coach because he kind of like critiqued the workouts every day to me, made me feel good. It actually made me motivated to want to work out. Even though I didn't sweat a lot, I always felt very limber and loose. And that's when we kind of built our relationship. So when we built this Jaxxon Media House, I asked Joe, yo, what will it take for you to train all of your young superstars in the making over here? And that's how that relationship came about.
But Joe gets it. Like when you're training athletes, like you need to be limber because like when you do hit the ground, like you need to be able to flex and like you don't want to just snap everything and break, you know?
Dude,
I feel like that's why he does that.
That's actually a good point. Like for what you do, first of all, can you kind of explain to the audience what you do?
Yeah, it's Speedway motorcycle racing. We're on bikes built just for that sport. They're kind of custom bikes, and we go on a dirt oval track. Bikes have no brakes, kind of drift on the corner.
I wanted to
and,
get into that. Like these dudes are gnarly.
Yeah,
Say that again.
yeah. So it's 4 laps, dirt track.
No, say the crazy part.
And the bikes have no brakes. So
Your
we're
brakes
drifting
are
on the
you
corners.
sliding the bike sideways.
Oh, I'm not
Yeah,
doing that.
exactly.
Oh, dude, it's gnarly.
Wait, but what is the point of that? Why not have no brakes?
It's just kind of how it's been forever.
It's how it started, right? Like the first dudes that raced didn't have brakes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, and it's been around ages. And I think kind of how the bikes are developed and built, it would probably be more dangerous to have brakes on them because you're on such a slide and sideways in the corners. If somebody were to hit the brakes in front of you, you don't really have time to kind of react or slow down. in that
it's like you
aspect,
really
so-
have to trust the dudes you're racing with and
Yeah.
kind of like know what they're doing and how they ride, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I've always been a fan of Speedway. My buddy Ian Young and all them run the Costa Mesa Speedway and stuff. And I've always watched it, but I didn't realize how gnarly it was until I went to Europe and I watched like Ty Wiffington.
Wolfenden,
Yeah,
yep.
Wolfington. He's bad. Like he's one of my boys. I got one of his
Yeah.
helmets. And like when I was over in the UK watching, I was like, dude, this is gnarly. Like, and ever since then, I've seen so many gnarly crashes. Like,
Yeah.
have you had any bad ones?
Yeah, I've had some pretty bad ones. Like any motorsport, really. You
Yeah.
know, it's not if, it's when. But
Comes with the
yeah,
territory.
Speedway, it's very minor. You got no room for error. And like you said, you got to trust the other guys you're riding with because these bikes have a lot of power and they're so light. If you clip bars, these bikes want to straighten up and take off even quicker. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've had my fair share of injuries.
I feel like with how sideways you guys got to get to slow it down coming in, like it seems like it'd be really easy to high side, low side, like. And those bikes, it seems like the front end's so light. It's like
Yeah.
when you get traction, you got to be ready for it.
Yeah, exactly. They're built to kind of take off and get all the traction that they can, and it's up to you to kind of maneuver the bike and get it leant over and sideways. As you take the weight off the bike, the back wheel kind of frees up and allows the back end to come around. But they're very, very unique bikes in that aspect.
How much does their bike weigh? It's not that much, right?
170 pounds, 180 pounds. Yeah.
And how much horsepower do those things do?
About 70,
Yep.
75.
They sound nasty.
Yeah. And like here, the tracks are much smaller. So
Yeah.
a lot of the time we're detuning them, trying to make them slower so they kind of get the power to the ground on the slick tracks.
Why is that? Why is it over like C's? Like their tracks are so much longer than you guys.
I'm not sure.
Is it just bigger over there?
Yeah, I think they just got more room for the bigger tracks. Same with Australia. They have a lot bigger tracks. So for us to go overseas, I spent 5 years over there, and it is pretty tough because
Way different from what you're used to over
yeah.
here. Like you literally don't have a straightaway over here. It's like you get up and then you're ready. You're pivoting for the next corner.
exactly. It's almost a different sport with how you have to ride the bike there. You're wanting to keep your momentum going, not really kind of get sideways as much because then you're killing speed.
You're trying to bite as much traction as you can.
Where here you're getting kind of locked up and, like you said, turning all the time. So it's tough going overseas for sure.
Yeah, I bet.
What about the competition in terms of like the events? Like I've seen some of these arenas and they're pretty packed, but in Europe, when you guys were working out, I don't know if you remember that day, I was looking up viewership and it's like one of the most viewed sports in Europe.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Like the arenas look massive. The audience looks massive. What is the reasoning why it's so reached such like kind of like a climax and such a breaking point in Europe, but maybe in the US it's still a little bit slower on the build?
Yeah, it's I mean, here in the States it was a pretty big sport in the 70s, 80s, I'd say. And not sure why it's died off, maybe technology and so many other things to do in say in Southern California.
Yeah.
But in Europe, yeah, it's especially Poland, it's their in the top 3 of sports there. So their league matches are getting 15,000 people every Sunday.
It's like going
wild.
to Motocross the Nations, like one of those big events. Like everyone's there with chainsaws and air horns. Like it's a rad environment to watch. Like it's cool. Have you ever done it on the ice?
No, I haven't. I've always been
sketchy,
interested.
dude.
Yeah, it looks pretty sketchy, and they've got those spikes in the tires. So
Dude.
that's like kind of puts me off a little bit.
Yeah, if you like fall on the wheel or something like that, like you're done.
Yeah, and even on the ice one, they used to have kind of a ritual when somebody would pass away due to a crash at an ice. Everybody that was racing in the event would get one of the spikes.
No way.
That kind of shows you how gnarly that is.
Yeah, it's common.
Yeah.
It's gnarly.
Yeah, that's aggressive.
Dude, imagine going as fast as you can down a straightaway and just pitching it sideways with no brakes to slow it down and then like regain control and then take off again down the next straightaway. Like it's gnarly, dude.
No, I'm good on
How many laps are your guys' races?
Only 4. So
But you're
4 riders,
like all
4
your
laps.
heats are back to back, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
There's no really like rest time.
Yeah, so on a championship night, we'll do 5 heats. Each race is a minute long. So
Yep.
it's short sprints. And then top 8 will go into 2 different semis, 4 and 4, and then top 2 from the semis go into the final on the night.
Do you guys make changes in between? Like, do you have time to do that? Like how the track's breaking down and stuff?
Yeah, which like looking at Speedway, it seems pretty simple, but I mean, between each race, the track's changing drastically. So we're flipping edges to get kind of a better grip with the tire.
Yeah.
You could adjust wheelbase forward or back, the timing on the engine, jetting. There's so many little things that, especially here when the track starts to slicking off, a lot of it is bike setup.
Do you have a different color helmet for every single heat?
No, not here.
Do you just wear the net, or over here did they not do
Here
that?
they don't do it just because it's all individual. So
I remember when I was hanging out with Ty, he's like, oh, I got my blue helmet, my yellow helmet, my red helmet, and whatever other colors. So he's like, I don't like wearing a stupid net. He's like, I want to have a dope helmet every time I go out. So he would just paint 4 helmets, one for every heat, because it shows what position you qualify or what position you're
what
starting
gate
in.
you're in.
Yeah, what gate you're in by the color of the top of your helmet. So they would all just wear a normal helmet and then just put like nets over them. Is that what it is? Kind of like a neck, almost like a cap,
It's
almost.
like a cover. Yeah.
Yeah, but like he started painting his helmets, and now like everyone in Europe does that.
Yeah,
do-rag helmets.
that's when I was in Europe. I had done the same thing, kind of following like them guys.
Yep.
Had started painting all of them. In Troy Lee Designs would hook me up each year.
That's rad.
With the
it
painted
seems like they're
helmets.
more of like the trendsetters over there for like with how big the sport is.
Yeah,
It's cool to see. It's cool to see it growing over here more too. Like,
yeah, and I think there's. I mean, especially now with kind of how things are going, you see everything is such like short attention spans.
Yeah, dude.
So Speedway. It is growing, and I think that could play in its favor as these races are just short sprints.
Yep.
And it's exciting. Like everybody I've brought to Speedway, nobody's ever left and like,
It's
it was
okay.
all right.
They're like,
know?
dude, that's dope.
Yeah, they
like you
wanna
said,
come
the
back
attention
for
span,
sure.
like the heats are so quick, and then it's like there's 4 different dudes, then 4 other dudes. Like it's fun
Yeah.
to watch. I love it. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I looked through some of like the intensity of the races. And I would say, like, for me, just really getting behind Supercross this year because the Lawrence brothers and the whole staff here at Jaxxon Media House watching all the races, like, it's definitely a high intensity action sports. Like, you're not getting bored because it's so fast too that you're like, oh damn, this is really cool to watch. What is the reasoning behind those, such the quick sprints of the laps or the races?
The bikes, I mean, again, it's kind of originated like that. But also the fuel tanks on the bikes are only very small. So you can only go here on a short track, maybe 8 laps. But sometimes I do wish it was a little bit longer because you start kind of feeling out a guy in front of you.
Once you get in your groove and you see what he's doing.
There's been many times where I'm like, man, one more lap, I would have had him. So,
and it's got to be so hard too to just get out there and have your heart rate spiked right off the bat. Like no warm up, no nothing. Like that's pretty intense.
Yeah. So that makes like the first heats pretty tough. And then after that, you're kind of still feeling the last heat race.
Yep.
So you're able to find that flow in that aspect. But yeah, it's exciting.
That's got to be the hardest
that.
part with how quick it is. Like you said, like once you study a dude, you only have a couple laps to study him before you need to really pass him.
Yeah. And especially here on the short tracks, like you have to be patient, but you can't be that patient with only 4 laps.
Yep.
So you're like trying to feel him out. And then by the time the race is over, like I said, there's
It's
been
like
so
that.
many times I'm like, one more lap. You know?
Yeah.
How do you get into a sport like that and really make that your profession? Because I've spent some time with you and I've really got to know you a little bit. I mean, one night we went and we all went to go watch Goodfellas over here in Lido. But you came and like you could tell how much like you care about your community, you care about the people around you. So the point that I'm trying to get at is like when you're building a team, like we see in Supercross and Motocross, we're learning so much about these teams and who builds them and the factories and the sponsorships. But when you're building a team, like we see you in here with all your boys, we see the sponsors and the people behind you. But how is it that you build a team or the professional side of this in terms of like the support that you need to go win?
Yeah, it's I went and raced in Europe for 5 years. There you're signed to a team and the team has sponsors and stuff like that. Since I've been back is one thing I've focused on. I mean, I came back beginning of 2023. I've really focused on building that foundation and a strong team around me. Starting with kind of my own program and what I'm doing, and then working with Joe and that aspect, and then sponsors is, I mean, here racing in the States, sponsors is kind of what makes the wheel go round. And lucky enough, I've gotten in with some good people like Trent Shoring is my main sponsor this year, and I've had connections in construction industry, so I've kind of built it that way. And I'll put like my sponsors, connect them so they all get business within each other.
Yep. Smart.
And then them backing me kind of helps me with having kind of the ability to stay up on my bikes and my engine tuning. And that's kind of how
What
I
about
build my
the
program.
support team with like maintenance and a staff and the crew? Like when you're going to all these events, like how does that work? Are you paying your way? You get there, you have to bring a team. Like talking about transportation. Like I feel like that's such a big thing that no one ever hears about. But these teams move around with like 50 dudes, and it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's kind of the same way, just on a smaller scale. I've got kind of a pit crew here that mechanics for me at the races will bring my bike, and then when I go travel up north, I fly when I go up there, and I have kind of the same thing, just a different kind of squad of people. So it makes it easier on me travel wise. I don't have to drive, don't have to bring my equipment back and forth. It's pretty much same equipment, just identical bikes in 2 different places.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So you just have a setup there and a setup here.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
It's like what I do. I
exactly.
keep a bike in Montana and then I keep a bike in Connecticut. So
Right.
anytime I go anywhere, it's the same bike. I'll ride it for 2 minutes and it feels like my same bike at home.
Yeah, just
Even though
the
they're all a
bars
little bit
and-
different, like they never feel exactly the same. Like
Yeah.
I'll build 4 bikes at the beginning of the year, identical, and they all have something a little bit different on them.
Yeah, it tends to happen like that.
But
all
you
the
get used
time.
to it so fast, I feel like.
How important is it to have like a bike and your equipment really be that touch, like that feel and touch be that identical?
It's the main thing you need. It gives you the confidence to go out there and do it. Like it's weird. Like you ever jump in someone else's car and try to drive it with their seat setting?
Yeah, I actually
Feels awkward.
I actually just crashed Loco's Tesla the other
That's
day.
exactly how it feels on a dirt bike, on any kind of bike. Like, yeah, it needs to be like your bike needs to be set up for you.
Yeah, I never even thought about that too, because when you're flipping and jumping and moving around on something of that much power, you would feel if something's off, you would feel that in the air, right?
Like we could ride other people's bikes and adapt to it. It just takes a little bit longer. Like someone's suspension might be softer. They might run more air pressure. Like, you know, it's just different little things that you get. If you're good at what you do, you can ride anything. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, and confidence is a big thing, like when it comes to a race side of things. So being comfortable on the bike leads to the confidence in winning races. So yeah, a lot of it does come down to the bike.
Yeah.
I heard one morning when I was in here, you and Joe, you guys start early here at the Jaxxon Media House. You guys are training, doing specific things that help you for race. But I heard you and Joe talking specifically about AMA, Pro Motocross, Supercross Series, your involvement, maybe your history in that. I don't remember exactly the conversation, but you were talking about maybe past experiences. What was your involvement?
Possible. Just like I grew up racing motocross, kind of. Up until I started Speedway. And I was at a young age where, I mean, I grew up racing motorcycles, doing all the other sports, and at the age where, you know, you kind of get burnt out of it. You see it a lot, and Speedway was so much different. And I was at the age where I just started. I had so much to learn. So by the time I got, like, decent at Speedway, I was old enough to realize, okay, I could probably make something out of this. Yeah. And that's what kind of drove me from there on out. But, kind of the motorcycle community, it all kind of ties in with each other, whether it's motocross, free ride, and Speedway, flat track. It's kind of a small world at the end of the day. So I know, like, my dad was very involved with motocross, and so he knows, you know, everybody knows somebody, and kind of all ties in.
That's dope.
I got another thing for you. I know we're you know, trying to get a little behind the scenes of this, but when it comes to the sport and kind of the bike, you've mentioned multiple times kind of just the way it was, or it's how it originated, but how has the technology evolved since you've started racing?
A lot of it has stayed kind of basic, the same, just newer parts that are built to last, and a lot stronger, lighter, makes the, and then the biggest thing in Speedway was the engines were upright, and then years back, probably early 2000s, the engines were then laid down, and that kind of changed the game drastically.
In a good way or bad way?
In a good way, where the bikes were a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of developed slowly, pretty simple, but it's come a long way.
How does a bike like that that's getting kind of completely Frankensteined, how does that play to like the Yamahas and the Hondas? And do they get involved heavy with the sport, or does that kind of throw away people's idea? Because I'm assuming they sponsor guys like, say, Jet Lawrence, so that way he goes wins, and then people goes and buy his Hondas. But how would you go and buy one of these bikes to just ride around if?
Yeah, these are all like European companies, so you have distributors here in the States, but all the different frames, like forks, frames, kind of people piece together kind of what they like from the few different companies they have options with. And so each bike is, like you said, not the same. Like you could go and buy a stock bike, like an old Jawa bike, but nobody would really run that. You switch the engine out of it, and then, everybody's got their own different parts that they'll grab from different manufacturers.
You ever see Still Roots where McGrath gets smoked by the chick riding flat track?
I did, yeah. Yeah, that's, it's pretty cool. Like, I think the sport has tons of room to grow. They're bringing back a Monster Invitational. Where they'll bring all the world riders back. That's happening in October.
Where at?
Industry with Kelly Inman.
Yeah. Up on top of the hill up there.
Yeah. So they're bringing probably like 10 of the top dudes in the world. Bring them over here on the small track, and it'll be a sick event.
City of Industry.
Oh, I'm there.
Yeah, it's close.
Oh,
45 minutes away.
City of Industry is amazing.
It's a dope little arena too.
It's right down the street.
Yeah.
Are you going to be in it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that's like our chance to kind of have those world guys step into our world with these style
with
tracks,
the short track.
Oh, this is it. We got the French guy coming over. Oh, so we got our money on the American. So besides you, how many people locally do you kind of ride with?
There's a handful. Like the national series that we're doing right now is 16 guys. Is how they run the format. But yeah, there's quite a few guys, but only 16 get seeded into the national series.
4 at a time in qualifying, right? And then how many in the main? 4?
4.
Or do you guys don't do 2 rows?
No. Always just 4 riders, 4 laps.
I mean, I've seen it one time over here at Costa Mesa Fairgrounds, and then I kind of heard a lot about it through Joe, of course, and then ever since we started doing the pod, I try to get as much as I can of information behind it. And
He's
then-
pretty dumb when it comes to anything two wheels.
Yeah, it's just a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to go fast, and
Yeah.
you guys go in circles, so it kind of it's hard for me to glide.
You guys
I'm
ever
not-
want to ride a speedway bike with no brakes on it?
I'm not Tokyo Drift Fast and
No
Furious.
way, right?
Have you ever ridden a speedway bike?
I never ridden one.
Oh my God, try it.
Dude.
You're gonna get so dizzy. I felt like I was doing the hula hoop on the trampoline. But you know, obviously, watching you kind of rise to the top and be as dedicated as you can, I think that inspiration there for anybody watching is amazing to see how much time and energy you put into making sure your body's good, your bike's good, your team's good. I think that's the coolest part. That's why I love having you here. So I was excited to kind of get you on the pod today, expose that a little bit, let people see it. And what about, before we wrap this up, what about where you're going to be racing next and kind of what you got going on with your team? You want to just
Yeah, I've got
on that?
this weekend. I'll be in New York. I fly out tomorrow for a U.S. Open event that they put on over there, and then I come back. We're back at Orange County Fairgrounds here in Costa Mesa sometime next month.
Okay.
Just wrapped up the state championship at Industry,
Dope.
so that was the last one of the year there, and then we have one more national round, which is going to be the 20th of next month up near Sacramento in a town called Auburn. So that'll kind of wrap up the season. And then the Monster Invitational will kind of be the finale.
How'd you do this year?
Good. I got the state championship last weekend. And then the national series, I'm up by 1 point going into the last round. So
Dope.
it'll be
wow.
tight. Yeah.
It's neck and neck.
Yeah.
Any French guys we got to worry about?
No, not here.
I think it'll be fine. Captain America is here to shine. Big dog Broc. And
Thank
then
you.
in terms of like sponsors and what you got going on with your team, anything that's different or you want to highlight?
Yeah, it's I'm always trying to build my platform and kind of my base and support system in the racing.
Yeah.
So yeah, anybody that kind of wants to hop on board, we got kind of a good program going, and
Who's supporting the program right now though?
we got Trent Shoring as the main sponsor, and then Murray Company, Miller Demolition and Environmental, Troy Lee Designs, Ascot, McCandless Tile, and yeah, you guys support me and Joe, and yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Of course,
Yeah,
of course.
thanks for coming on, bud.
Before I
Stoked.
let you go, one last thing is who's in charge of where all the logos go on your uniform?
I'm in charge of that. So.
Yeah, I love
that'd
that. We got to talk about that. I need a Jaxxon podcast down the sleeve. I need a like in Twitch We Trust down this sleeve.
It's just
There we
money,
go.
dude.
Yeah, it's just money. So make sure you guys check it out. I think one of the best things, one of the rising superstars in the sport, but someone who is responsible, mature, and kind of sets the standard for what being a pro athlete is like. Because I love the dedication you put in. I think that's one of the best things about you. Very mature when you come in the gym. A lot of people tend to be like our camera guy who's always just like messing around. But then you come in here. Sorry, I don't mean to have you take strays, brother. You know, no face, no case. He's the guy with the blurry face in the Behind the Brand show. But I really do appreciate all the support, and I do appreciate all the time you put into your craft. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Congrats.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for giving us a platform, awesome place to come and
No
train.
worries. This is all Twitch. Twitch is the one who's doing this for the moto industry. I think that's one of the coolest things he's doing this year is taking his time to come here and sit down with some of the young bucks in the game, the next rising superstars, you know, and I think that's cool. I think people get a really good side when they talk to a guy like this.
Yeah, definitely. Thank
All
you.
right, guys, if you guys want to see anything new, make sure you guys go check out the giveaway in our Jaxxon Podcast Discord. We also have a brand new show every Friday on the Jaxxon Behind the Brand YouTube show and a brand new show, Jaxxon Sports, with myself and Twitch, interviewing and talking to some of the best guys in the game, all different industries, all different hobbies and sports and crafts, and really just trying to get to the meat and potatoes of what they got going on in their life. We appreciate you guys watching, and we're out.